Hi, it is Mediumship Monday. It is 7 o'clock, and I am here and pretty excited that you are going to be joining me here as well. I am going to do a quick little link. I'm sorry, I'm just going to do this real fast because then we're going to talk about stress and how stress affects what we're going through in life, or how it affects our connection with spirit, or how maybe it could be a motivator. So I'm going to talk a little bit about my my degree at U of M, how that came about. I think this will be the right, maybe not, it might not be the right thing to show you. Anyway, okay, so hi, thanks so much for joining me. Look, the sun is really bright right now. My skin looks amazing, doesn't it? Amazing. We'll see how much of that comes in. So I'm going to be talking about stress. I want to talk a little bit about my degree at U of M. It is really going to come blaring in here. So if I get too washed out, will you please tell me? So I got a degree in environmentalism. I wrote my own degree. I did an individualized concentration program at U of M, which means, I may have spoke about this before, and forgive me if I have, which means that I did a lot of chemistry, biology, physics, not so much math, but but I love all that, especially chemistry. I love chemistry. I love organic chemistry, inorganic chemistry. I love all of it. So I wrote my own degree. I ended up writing my own degree with enough credits to have a master's, but because I just graduated bachelor's. And when I started to have the experience of trying to be in that world of environmentalism, I got really upset. I'm sort of really downtrodden. That's like, nobody really cared about ocean gyres. No one really cared about, the endocrine system and what chemicals were out there, what chemicals release, and how those chemicals that were released interacted with every other chemical. And I had a real issue with continuing down that path. So I'm just looking up at this. The sun is beautiful right now. So I had a real issue, and so I kind of didn't do it. I ended up moving to the East Coast. I did some things out there, and I sort of worked in, like, I would say, I worked at a lab. I worked at a lab, and we dealt with asbestos, which is a naturally occurring substance that's very dangerous. Okay, so anyway, I did that. But anyway, I kind of gave up. It was sort of like I gave up. And then I'm like, how do you get people to care about environmentalism? How do you get people to care about the environment? Nobody cares about the environment. Nobody cares what's happening. And then I was just making it through life, and mediumship sprang up. Or I would say, let me say this differently. I reconnected to what I already had, but I didn't know I had it. And I gotta tell you, getting people to care about their souls, maybe even harder. So part of what I do, and I've been trying to decide if I was going to change it from mediumship to soulship. So it's like, I don't just look at medium stuff. I look at how your soul is doing on this plane of existence, how you're moving forward, what you can do to maybe tips and tricks to help kind of ease your way. So that's what I'm going to be talking tonight. Tips and tricks for stress or maybe even abandonment, depression, like things that we're really dealing with on a day-to-day basis, trying to move forward. I see it over and over again in my practice. Guess why I see it in my practice? Get where I'm going? Maybe I've had to, it's funny because I just want to say here, oh, you're so sweet. I just want to say, make sure you share this. Don't forget to thumbs up it. Give it to subscribe. If you haven't had friends subscribe or you subscribe, do that, please. Okay, so I want to talk about, here's the unfortunate, I've really done a good job of training my kids and how to really see the bright side of life, how to keep moving forward. And today, my daughter, I picked up Oh yeah, guilt. We'll talk about guilt too. I picked my daughter up and I was talking about something and she said, Mom, it's so funny. She's like, it's not how many times you get knocked down. It's really how many times you get back up. And I think it's time for you to get back up. So she was really shoving me into not giving up. And that's kind of I wanted to talk about this. So now as I've moved in life more, and I've been able to look back on it and maybe see where I could have pushed forward, I could have not given up. And I see that as I don't want to say maybe a pattern, but definitely something I have struggled with, is really trying to decide how hard you push it someplace and not giving up. So it's interesting that with the Mediumship Monday, I don't miss it. I am so committed to helping people. And it's not just helping people. It's realizing our connection with spirit. So, hi Susie, I know, how's Quebec? Susie, have you been to the ice castle? If you have not been to Quebec, Montreal, they have an amazing ice, a whole sculpture. I mean, it's like an ice thing you can walk into, whole ice castle. Lots of wonderful things happening around there. But I don't know, it's definitely around winter, not in the summer. It's really hot up there, I'm sure right now, as it is here. Okay, so how do you keep moving forward when there's stress or guilt or abandonment, or a relationship isn't working out the way you wanted it to work out, or your degree isn't working out like you thought it was going to work out, or you're having to pick yourself back up again when you don't really feel like getting back up. So I want to share, and the sun is coming right back out into my eyes. Normally, I'm able to. I just forgot to shut the screen, so it is what it is. It looks like I don't have a mouth. Like, look, you can look. I have like a little. What is that guy? Spicy. Anyway, so so let's talk about it. How do you get back up when you don't really feel like getting back up? Well, one of the things I did, and I'm going to post later if I can totally figure out how to do it, because I'm stepping into mediumship I'm stepping into mediumship fully. I'm stepping into it as much as my time allows, and it turns out I've got more time. So I recorded a very beta meditation clearing that I did actually in GarageBand today on my phone. So it is not like the best quality, but I do have a microphone, and now I have a whole filter and like stuff. So if you want a beta meditation on how to clear your energy, align your energy, it's almost like, I call it like an energy car wash, and it's something that you could take with you daily. I'll post it in the comments below before. Okay, now here's where it gets kind of hard. We are all individuals, right? We absolutely are all individuals, and we have to really decide how we get back up. So some people could get back up with music, some people could get back up with meditation, some people could get back up with dancing. I was just thinking of my best friend who loves to dance. And some people can really, it takes a while to be in the pain, which is really important when we're talking about this, because you really shouldn't sing to somebody who is depressed. You shouldn't tell them everything is okay, or you shouldn't, I wouldn't say shouldn't, but I would encourage you not to, because what ends up happening is you have, you're telling them things aren't okay. So if you've ever been in a session with me or ever been in a group reading with me, you know I'll have tissues available, I'll have napkins, whatever, but I will not hand you ever a tissue. And in fact, I discourage people from doing it, because when you hand somebody a tissue, there's an unspoken rule that having their feelings is not okay. It's, you know what, dry your eyes, buck up, we're fine. The truth is, we're not fine. We're not fine on an emotional level. Wow, it's really bright. Is this too much? We're not fine on an emotional level, and we're not fine on a global level, which is really playing out how we, how things are happening in, how things are happening in the world. So one of the things that ends up happening is our self-hatred kind of envelopes out into other places. So what I want to, it's just, I'm not going to be able to do anything without really getting up and shutting the, it's going to just live as if you can't see, as if I don't have a neck and below. Sorry. So if you don't really work on how you feel about yourself. Now, look, there's a lot more that goes into this. I mean, there's brain chemistry, there's socio-economic, political issues that come through. There's all these things that come through, and they're very big parts of the constructs that we have built in this materialistic world that don't really serve us. If you really think about it, it doesn't really serve us. I'm doing a study. I'm part of a study, and it's really looking at how people get things from, I'm trying to figure out like how people would get things from a technology commercialization. How do scientists or the forward thinkers out there really get, and I have heard over and over again that we can solve this, but it would actually mean that the world would need to really change. So I think because you're here, because I'm here, because there's thousands of other light workers here, because that change is coming. It may be slow. I mean, the 60s, they were kind of the start of it, right? Flower power, don't hurt anybody kind of thing. But we're really part of the change now. So I encourage you to, if you are having inklings, and usually what ends up happening is if you've seen me, you are on your spiritual path, period. There's nothing else. There's no other two ways about it. You are on your path. It is there. Now, you can choose not to do it 100%, or you can choose to do it, whichever sort of works for you. Now, for me, I want to be on this spiritual path because it's where I feel the most aligned. Okay? So I haven't really heard if anybody's interested in that, and I'm not going to post it unless I actually hear that people want to have that meditation, and I'll do that in the comments. But I'm not going to keep it there for a long time, so I'm only going to keep it there for maybe a week, and I'm going to take it down because I'm going to start really not pushing meditations. I'm not really a meditation pusher, but we have to increase our vibration and frequency to the highest available to us now, because everything around you is seen and unseen. In this fourth dimension, we're looking to really move into a dimension of unity. Hope that makes sense. Does that make sense? Hope that makes sense. I'm going to pop over here to, okay, that's great. I do have people over here on Facebook. I was just checking them. So I do have people on Facebook. I didn't really go back to back with them because I want you Facebook people to run over to YouTube and hit subscribe and get your little notification so that I can, so that you can be, not I can be notified when I go live. I know when I go live, so that you can be notified when you go live. So, so last Monday, there were some issues with the internet. Looks like they're fine now. I don't see there's being a problem. So if you see there is a problem, please let me know, okay? Okay, so I'm also thinking about changing the format here to where I'm just giving readings in period, like 10, 15 minutes, maybe 20 at the tops. And the talking will be talking about what's going on or will be saved for courses and classes that I'm going to be doing. I'm trying to reevaluate where your time, your energy, and my time and energy can actually connect. Hope that makes sense. So, okay. Is there any questions out there? No questions at all? Nobody has a question? Nobody said, okay, what do you think about the new form? What would you think of the new format? Is that good? All right, you can just tell me later or direct message me. It doesn't matter, whatever you want to do. So, okay, so one of the things that I'd like to talk about in this, I feel like somebody, they're showing me my necklace so that there's somebody who's watching you either, so let me back up. If you are watching this video, whether you're watching it live or you're watching it on YouTube later, and you hear something that stirs within your soul, and you hear things that begin to connect with, well, I want to let you know that that is true. Everything is set up perfectly with spirit, so that means that if your father comes through here and you don't see it like until 2 years from now, but it still is for you. Because this is just like a group reading. It is not just what I say, it's also the depth of what's being said. I hope that makes sense. Okay, all right, so I want to talk about, I feel a colostomy. I feel like somebody who has had their colon removed. I feel young, I feel a female. I was really vibrant, and I felt like I canoed, and I feel like there's a bunch of headaches that go along with it. I also, okay, so there's always some kind of theme, usually that comes through in a mediumship at a group setting. I would say it's no different here. It's like for the past 3 weeks, I have seen this man who comes in overalls, and they're light overalls, and they're here, and he looks like a farmer. He just keeps showing up. So I don't know if he's showing up as one of my, I don't know if he's showing up as one of my guides this way, but I do want to say that that is good. So I do want to talk about that. I do have 2 young women. One woman, I feel like my head is hurting. I feel like it was cancer. I feel brain cancer. I feel like basal stem, something there. It doesn't. So I feel that coming forward. I also have this is a real young man. These are all young people under 50. We're really, so when I say I'm young, I mean under 50. So I feel that there's this very young energy that's coming forward. I see a male, darker hair, it's like a bomber jacket. I feel like he might have died over 5 years ago, but he's showing me being in a car accident, also showing me a very fast death. Feels, and now I see like a younger woman who was killed in okay, so I feel a younger woman who passed in an alcohol related. I feel like she was drinking, but she may not have been the cause of the accident. So she's here with me as well. That's a C name. She's making me feel like it's a C name, like Chrissy, Christina. It could even be Kelly, something along those lines with a K, beginning K name. So, okay, it's interesting because I also have a young male who was killed by a drunk driver. God, he was young. He was young, way young. Like, I don't think he graduated high school. I mean, not that he dropped out, but he doesn't feel like he graduated high school because he was killed prior to it. It's interesting because part of what he's showing me is that mother, I don't know if the mother is watching. I don't think so, but I think there was and now another young male came forward that was thrown from a car in a car accident, was in the hospital, looked like he was supposed to make it, didn't. I feel tracks with him. The other people, this younger male who's passed with that's connected to somebody, he was hit in a car. So he was in a car hit by somebody who was drinking and driving, and he had darker hair. I feel like he had darker skin. He's showing me darker skin. I also see like a varsity jacket that's on him. I feel like the mother has a varsity jacket and he's giving that as a bit of proof. Okay, so this is a real shout out to all the mothers, because when I'm here, I'm feeling like there's a big call for, it's like they're singing almost in unison, calling to the mothers to let them know they're okay. So if you are watching at any point and you're hearing this message, because I mean, as I'm even sitting here, I have children who are showing up. So as I'm having, like, when I'm talking children, I'm talking also babies and in utero children that have crossed over. It is a whole resonance for people, for the mothers and the fathers, for peace. I'm gonna say this, and I know it's really difficult when you lose a child, but it's a call for joy in your life. It's a call for joy in your life. All of these souls are stepping forward to comfort. So let me make this clear. If you are watching this 5 years down the road, your sensitivity for spirit will go through the roof, and your loved ones and your children on the other side will heighten your awareness to them. So just allow yourself that experience. Okay. It is not just a message. I mean, I'm going to say the message initially began just because I would say I have 12 different young souls that have come forward. This young, under 50, all the way down to in utero, that's coming forward of miscarriages and terminations or miscarriages. They show the same to me. There's no judgment around anything that has happened in this world around that. We're the ones who have judgment. So just understand there. I mean, I don't know how else to say this, but this is also for you. Every single person on here that may not have lost a child. Like, this life is about trying to find where you're happiest. So if you're in a place where you got knocked back down and it's time to get back up again, you can do it. I really appreciate you tuning in every Monday and Mediumship Monday. It means a lot to me. I hope you like it, share it, send it around, and see light, be light. Yo, see light, be light. The shirts are going to come soon. So, okay. Have a wonderful night. I'll see you next Monday. Bye.